Yeah, hi there. Thanks for joining me here in the shack. So it's pretty cold outside, but not here in the shack. It's pretty cozy here, pretty nice. So having some coffee, some good coffee. Yeah, I want to smoke something, but still empty my Ali Barinci, which yeah, has been slightly colored so far. So you see that. So trying to improve that. So, but there's nothing in it. So there's a reason for that. I want to mix a cigar leaf tobacco today. So I know there's a lot of good stuff on the market already. There are many tobaccos I really like. So well, let's say the Habana Daydream, which I really like, or the Dominican Glory, for example. But as you all know, sometimes you have something on your mind, so about a tobacco, about a special taste you want to have, and well, that's the moment where you start mixing up something. So I guess most of you, or nearly all of you, already did that. So just take my suggestion as a little addition to that. Perhaps you may find some interest in that or not. So I tried to mix a cigar leaf blend with 5 components. So and I wanted these components to be available for all of you, so I just watched out a little bit. So I think most of you will get these components or similar components. Try to add sometimes a little bit about which tobacco could be a nice variation of that, or could be similar to that. So, okay, let's get started. So I don't want to overdo again so much. So, first component we want to have for that is a tobacco that provides enough sweetness, is a good base for the rest of the tobacco, not too complex, keeps the tobacco burning, and perhaps even slow burning. So what could that be? Of course, that could be a Virginia flake. So because when we rub that out, keeps the tobacco burning pretty nice and very slow. So, and when it comes to a straight Virginia flake, so for me, golden sliced, this is the one I want to pick for this tobacco. It's a pretty good tobacco. Perhaps it's the best or one of the best Virginia flakes on the market. I know some people say there's also a hint of Perique in it. I don't know that, but yeah, for this tobacco we want to mix up, I think it's a good choice. You can also stick to some Old Gory, for example, or some other ready rubbed Virginia. So that's okay. Let's say Capstan Yellow. If you rub that out, that could be a proper alternative too. So we want to go with that. I don't show you all these tobaccos now. I just tell you what is in and the amounts, and then I just get it done here, get the right amounts, and show you that. So you can have a look at the at all the different tobaccos then. So it's easier perhaps to do it that way. So we need 26 grams of that for the kind of recipe I want to do. So well, feel free to change that, but well, that's for every component, of course, so feel free to change that. It's just some kind of starter kit, so, or first idea to get that started. So so we have that, our base. So what do we need now? So we need something that gives the tobacco more deepness, or more a little bit more complexity, more strength, some earthy notes, some wooden notes perhaps, yeah, and a little bit of nicotine. That should be proper too. So I think we're gonna go with the Solani, the aged burley flake. So this is some nice tobacco. There's a video on the channel about that too, if you're interested in that. So that's really pretty nice stuff, and gives some earthy notes, enough sweetness, and it's full-bodied. So that's what I like. So full-bodied, deep tobacco with enough sweetness, enough complexity. So we want to have that. Yeah, in my recipe, this would be 8 gram of the Solani aged burley flake. This is 2 slices, by the way, 2 slices of that. So another component we want to have. So we now have 2 serious tobaccos. We want to add a little component that gives some, I don't know, a relaxing moment to it, and also keeps the tobacco burning very well, and perhaps another sweetness could be good. So that will be a black Cavendish, excuse me for that. So and I go with the Robert McConnell black Cavendish. So in lack of any other I could get so far. So you can of course you can go with a McClellan. I think McClellan has a black Cavendish too. So there are many producers they have those pure tobaccos. So you can use any black Cavendish. So it doesn't really depend. So we want to have 14 gram of that. So 14 gram, that should be enough of that to give another sweetness. Perhaps even some honey vanilla notes in the back. So it's natural tobacco, but we all know that's black Cavendish. This is sweet stuff and keeps the tobacco burning very well. So we want to have that. But now we need a spicy note to make a little contrast to that and to add a little bit more complexity and, you know, to make the tobacco more interesting. But it should be just a note. And what could that be? That could be Perique. So when it comes to Perique, I really trust McClellan's Perique. So this is really, for me, perhaps the best pure Perique. So you can also go with the Robert McConnell. They have a pure Perique too, but my choice is the McClellan. So, but it should be just a hint. So I just take 2 gram for this recipe. So it's just in the bag. Just a little pepper note in the bag. Just if you're focused on that, you will taste that. Well, it's not about tasting really the Perique. It's just to give the tobacco a little extra note. So to add some complexity to it. And yeah, to make it more interesting with a little note. So you can get that on 3 gram perhaps, or on 4, but be careful with that. So you're gonna kill the rest of the tobacco if you just go too high on that. It's the same if you want to add a lot of key component to that. So I would suggest just to go with 1 or 2 gram. So just enough that you can't really smell it when you open the tin, and you can't really taste it when you light it up, but it's just in the back, so for a little extra smokiness. So you can do that. So on this kind of recipe, I don't add a lot of Kia, but you can do that. But be careful with that. So otherwise, yeah, you could kill the other components. So of course, if you want to have a lot of Kia blend, so feel free to get in whatever you want. So. But that's not what I'm up to, yeah. So, and for adding that, so I did it myself with 1 or 2 gram, and I use Balkan Sobranie for that. So because I like that. Okay, but now we need the cigar heart, the tasty heart of the tobacco. So I tried many different things with different cigars. I tried pure tobaccos, pure Kentucky, and so on. But yeah, I want to add Kentucky cigar note to that. And best thing I found for me is an Italian cigar. It's a Toscano. So there are three main variations of that. So you can use the Classico. So that's the milder one, if you could say milder about that cigar. Well, that cigar, that is nicotine in front, in the middle, and in the end. So it's not quite complex. So, well, excuse me if you like these cigars. I like that myself very much. I smoked that for many years, and I still like it. Well, these are the cigars you sometimes see in the old Western movies with the cowboys, with Clint Eastwood smoking that, chewing on that all day long, so it's hard like a stick. So they make it from pure Kentucky, and they take a whole Kentucky leaf to wrap that up to to ferment that, to mature that, and so on. They do it really traditional, and it's pretty nice. It's good stuff, and it's quite strong. It's quite strong Kentucky taste. So I go with the medium strength, and that would be extra vecchio. So excuse me if this is completely wrong, my pronunciation, if you are from Italy, so my excuse for that. So extra vecchio. So this would be my choice. Also tried the Classico, and there's also stronger ones. So, but I think the medium strength is pretty good. So what we're going to do with that? So don't be shocked if you like these cigars. So because we crumble that up. There's no other choice for. So it's pretty dry normally. So if not, let it dry out. So we can crumble that up to the right size. I show you the size very soon. Now, well, then we just throw it in tobacco. And if you make a first try of the tobacco, don't be wrong. It's the same about the Latakia and the Perique. So, but really about the Kentucky, the first try, you won't really notice the Kentucky notes. So that's going to change day after day after day. The Kentucky is getting stronger and stronger and stronger, up to 10 or 14 days. Then the process is finished, and then you have really a nice, well, I think you have a nice cigar leaf blend with a good Kentucky note. So, but it doesn't kill the other tobaccos, the Kentucky. No, that's not what we want to do. So, but I think it's a nice mixture. You can give it a try. So perhaps, okay, folks. I'm gonna roll that up, or just prepare that for the right amounts of every tobacco, and I'll be back then and show you for all the single components how they look, so you get an idea of that. So I'll be back soon. So that's how it looks. So I just show you the different components. So there we have the golden sliced 26 gram. I rub that out. The Solani 8 gram or 2 slices. It's pretty nice tobacco. So we have the Black Cavendish. Well, that seems pretty much, but it's just 14 grams, so it's just, oh, it's not a flake, and it's not already rubbed, so it just looks a little bit more. So we have the Perique, the McLaren's Perique, or any other Perique you can get. Very nice. Doesn't smell very nice, I think, but it's quite sour, but we need that. So, and this is our crumbled cigar. So don't be afraid about the humidity. This is absolutely dry, but we don't have to rehydrate that or something like that. There's enough humidity in the rest of the tobacco. You will see that. So that's our little ensemble. So now we just mix that together. Show you a little trick. Let me just throw that in a bag. I'll show you a little trick. I'll be back in a sec. So there we are, back again. And just have that now in the little bag, so you can shake that around, but there's a little trick to make that easier, so that it's not easy with one hand, of course. So you just take the bag, get this done, and yeah, you just breathe in a little bit. So, and then you have it, so it's easy to shake that up down. So that's something, I don't know, the master blender of Planta showed me that one, so that's how they do it in the company, to make small amounts to test that. So we shake that up, yeah, then we just put it in a little tin or jar, and yeah, we just enjoy. So give me a sec. Yeah, back again. Oh well, darkness has already fallen, so it's really time to finish that. It was really time to get something my Ali Berinci here. So, okay, let me just tell you one or two things about the tobacco and the mixing process you want to know. So, if you mix that up, you can already give it a shot. So that's what I do now, and it's pretty nice. So the complexity now is not about the components already melted into each other. It's not about that, of course. It's more about getting to different tobaccos during the bowl. So, and that's also pretty nice. And it's already sweet. It's already full, earthy. What's not as complex as it is if you let that melt into each other. So the thing is, now you don't have really Kentucky notes, so at least not really that you can taste that in the front. So sometimes you get to a Kentucky part when you have a feeling of that, but don't be wrong about that. So if you try that and you think, well, it's not getting enough Kentucky or cigar leaf notes, so in it, I'll just throw more Kentucky in it. That's what I did several times, so I wasn't patient enough. So believe me, the Kentucky will get stronger and stronger and stronger every day. So let's say for 10 or 14 days. So after 14 days, normally the process of melting into each other, I don't want to say has come to an end. Doesn't come to an end, but well, then it's quite complete, the tobacco, and then it's different then. So I would suggest, so if you mix that up, if you want to do that, so give it a shot right after mixing that, and then try one bowl every day. So you will see how the tobacco changes every day. That's an interesting experiment, at least was for me. Yeah, and if you want to do something else with that, you can go with pressing. So you can press the tobacco. So that's what I did. If you're interested in the method, so there are several videos on the channel. I don't know, I think 2 videos at least about tobacco pressing. That's what I did with a very simple method. So you can see it there how it works. And if you do that, if you give it some pressing, so don't give the full force, so just give it, I don't know, 60-70% of the force, so you get a cake after 3 weeks. So that it was pressed for 3 weeks, this tobacco. So it's a pretty nice little cake. Yeah, and of course, so the taste is a little bit different. So it's milder, it's more complete. So I don't know, I like that. Burns pretty well if you wrap that up a little bit. Well, that depends on you, if you like cake or not. So I'll show you the tobacco, how it looks. Now that we're finished with that thing, it looks pretty nice. So nice little mixture here. And if you smell that, it's really, I don't know, it has really nice earthy notes, a little bit of leather. And a hint of the Kentucky and the Perique, but just a hint, but that gets stronger. So as I said, you can add really a hazelnut size or walnut size. Well, walnut size maybe already too much of Latakia to it. So just make it a hazelnut. So then it's not a Latakia blend then, just to add a little bit of smokiness. You can do that. So, but you don't have to. So yeah, perhaps you want to try that out. And then just, yeah, let it rest for a while. Try that out. Perhaps you have any other ideas for mixing. So I know you guys have a lot of ideas about all these things. So I really appreciate that. Yeah, just tell me what you think. I hope you all are well. Thanks a lot for joining me today. And yeah, perhaps see you again.